In 2008, the FBI had enough evidence to sentence him to decades in prison. They didn't. Instead, they signed a secret deal. The victims were not informed. The accomplices were granted immunity permanently. 11 years later, he died in jail. Cameras failed. Guards fell asleep. No witnesses. The official ruling, suicide, and the people he could have exposed are still walking free today. There are secrets that once you know them, you can't unsee, not because they're strange, not because they're distant, but because you begin to realize the world you live in isn't exactly what you thought. There are files that people would pay millions of dollars just to keep silent. There are names that, when placed side by side, make an entire system tremble. Today, I don't have an ordinary guest. Today, I sit across from the Epstein files.
I was not forgotten. I was silenced. That's how this story began. Not with the FBI, not with the press, with a child and a parent who dared to speak up. In 2005, Palm Beach, Florida, a city of white mansions, tall palm trees, and secrets carefully hidden behind closed gates. A 14-year-old, still in school, told her parents she had been paid to massage a wealthy man. That was the first testimony. Local police stepped in. They investigated, and what they found wasn't just one man, not just an isolated case, but dozens of victims. Most were minors. Most came from families without money, without power, without a voice. In 2006, the FBI officially opened a federal investigation. They gathered evidence, took testimonies. They knew the true scale of the operation. And then they made a deal. In 2008, a non-prosecution agreement was secretly signed between federal prosecutor Alexander Acosta and Jeffrey Epstein's legal team. The terms: no federal charges of any kind. Epstein would only plead guilty at the state level to much lesser charges. Sentence: 18 months, but he served only 13. And special conditions: allowed to leave jail for work 6 days a week. Not prison, almost supervised freedom. But the most disturbing part of that deal wasn't the light sentence. It was the final clause: permanent immunity for all potential co-conspirators. Everyone, forever, unnamed.
A deal to protect who?
In 2018, investigative journalist Julie K. Brown from the Miami Herald began doing what the justice system had failed to do. She found the victims, not 1, not 10, nearly 80, interviewed directly, listening to each story. Her investigative series, Perversion of Justice, was published in November 2018. Antedur, Began to open.
Up to this point, you might still think this is a story about a single criminal, a deviant individual. But let me ask you something. How does a man convicted of sex crimes in 2008 continue attending elite events, continue flying around the world with the most powerful people on the planet, continue operating a vast network for another 11 years before being arrested again?
The answer isn't him. The answer is the system around him. This is not a story about one man. This is about a system. A system carefully built, carefully protected, operating for decades in plain sight. I contain the flight logs of the Boeing 727, known as the Lolita Express. Hundreds of flights, hundreds of passengers. Names that are not ordinary. Primera containti Black Thousand politician, executives, scientists, royalty, artists. Many were never questioned. I contain victim testimonies describing an organized recruitment network, intermediaries paid to find vulnerable young girls from schools, parks, struggling families. And I contain the locations where it all happened. Palm Beach Mansion, Upper East Side apartment in Manhattan, Zoro Residences in Paris. And finally, a private island, Little St. James, US Virgin Islands, cameras everywhere. Controlled access. No one enters without permission. No one knows what happens inside unless they are there. The most terrifying part isn't the crimes. It's that they continued for decades in the most luxurious places in the world. And no one stopped it.
This is the part many people skip too, and the part you must listen to most carefully. Because in this file there are names, faces you've seen, people you may have voted for or admired, but I won't read names and assign guilt. I will read names and the legal facts attached to them, what evidence exists, what rulings were made, and what questions remain unanswered.
The difference between appearing in a file and being convicted is a line we must not erase. Their social associations party events photo. Not evidence of wrongdoing, close financial personnel, ties, flights, and repeated visits. Questions remain. Direct allegations tied to legal outcomes or settlements. Ghislaine Malfigure, convicted in 2021 of sex, trafficking minors. Sentenced to 20 years. Accused in civil lawsuit by Virginia Jeffrey. Denied allegations. Settled out of court in 2022, lost royal duties. Alain Derschus den Countersuit. In 2022, both sides withdrew claims. Knockout ruling. Donald Trump, former acquaintance, later distanced. No charges. Bill Gates met Epstein after conviction, called it a mistake, no allegations. A powerful name is not proof of guilt, but it doesn't erase the question, who knew what, and when, and if they knew what.
July 6, 2019, Epstein arrested again. No deal this time. July 23rd, found semi-conscious. July 29th, removed from suicide watch. August 10th, dead.
Official conclusion, suicide, but colon camera malfunction. Guards fell asleep, no roommate. Suicide monitoring was recently deactivated. Independent expert Michael Bodden suggests the injuries are more consistent with strangulation. The disagreement remains unresolved. Name, network, secret. Evidence may still exist.
When Epstein died, many people thought the story would sink into oblivion. It is not the first time that has happened. It is not the first time a scandal was brewed along with its main character, but this time it is different. Because there were women who survived, and they are not staying silent.
Justice does not always come from the courts. Sometimes it comes from those whom the entire system told to stay silent, but who chose to speak out anyway. After Epstein's death, the world did not fall silent, but the world was not in agreement either. There were two major currents of public opinion, and both had reasons to exist. The first current, those who believe that the entire dossier needs to be released, that the public has the right to know every name, every piece of evidence. That silence is merely protection for those in power. The second current, those who warn against baseless speculation. That listing names without evidence will destroy innocent people. That conspiracy theories are blurring the verifiable truth. Both are partly right. And that is why this story is not yet over. Every time new documents are released, there are more questions and more. Lines of text blacked out.
What you've heard is only what's confirmed. The rest remains in darkness.
No confirmed client list, only fragmented data. Seized evidence remains mostly undisclosed. Documents still redacted what's proven. A system existed. It operated for decades. Its operator died before trial. Its main accomplice is imprisoned. What remains unknown? The true scale. The full list of participants. Those who never faced accountability. The most frightening thing is not what you don't know. It's that you don't know what you don't know.